Hello and welcome to Chit Chat with two T's. I am your host, jvaldez, and in today's episode, our extra special guest is none other than Miss Vaughnette Bigford. Welcome, Vaughnette.
Hi guys.
Thank you for having me. To have you. So glad you could be with us. The only thing that would make this better is if I could have been with you in person, but in time to come. So we have Vaughnette here. Vaughnette is a daughter of the soil. She's a South girl like myself, so I'm extra excited about this. And I just wanted, I know things about her and we know things about her because she's a public figure. But Vaughnette, maybe you could tell us a little bit about Vaughnette.
Vaughnette has changed on a daily basis, JL, to be honest.
I like that.
People ask you, who are you? I tell people sometimes on any given day or on any given week, that changes, But primarily, I describe myself as a Caribbean woman, a Trinbagonian woman, a woman of African descent, a woman from Library.
Hello.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm a musician. I'm a wife, a friend, a mother. I'm just all of those, but primarily I like to describe myself as just another everyday Afro-Caribbean woman.
And I would beg to disagree with the everyday part. I don't know. And it's not a margism thing, I swear. But this is really how I see you. That, and I will tell you, an adjective that always comes to mind when I think about you is storyteller. Whether it is through your music or your Facebook posts, it is always storytelling. And I know personally, I always get caught up, I always get drawn in, and I'm never disappointed. Whether it is something to make you think or something to make you laugh, or you're shining light on something else, a cause or a person. I'm never disappointed if I decide to read more when I see, your posts come up. So
that's important.
Yes.
Important. I like being called a storyteller because as a matter of fact, maybe 2 days ago, I made a post, so I told somebody about that. In that, basically, I see myself, especially as a creative, as a vessel through which stories are told.
Yes.
I'm supposed to be able to influence the way you think or feel by the very songs that I sing. So I'm a vessel. I was telling them that the music is so much more important than the artist, because I feel that we are here to simply be the vessel through which the music comes out. So I'll teach that.
Yes, take it, please. You don't have to take it. I give it to you with open arms.
I'm in with that.
And I think that is that's a great way that you put this across too, because now there are certain songs that I hear and I can't help but to think of you. And the first one, the number one is Born to Shine. I never heard that song before hearing you sing it. And my mother was like, that song around long time. I was like, but I not around long time. So in my mind, that's Vaughnette's song.
And I think that was the intent of it too. Born to Shine was written by Carol Addison, and I can't remember the name of the gentleman, and released in the 70s, either late 70s or early 80s. I think it's 70s. But I tell people that the song meant so much to me as a child, because that's what I was told. I was told that by my parents. I was told that by my father, how beautiful I was. Girl, you're this, you're that, Vaughnette V, what, and it's my story.
Yeah.
So I used that opportunity to introduce the song to people like you, young people who had never heard the song before. So a lot of people tell me that they had never heard it before. And the intent was really to expose the beautiful music of Trinidad and Tobago to a newer audience, because so many persons had not heard of Carol Addison and that song before.
Or heard it and did not know it was local.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard a couple of people say they didn't know it was a local song.
Exactly. Well, that was
You
Carol
know?
for you, and Carol was up there, so you know.
Well, you not backwards, sis.
Well, I've taken that. I would blush too. In a very melanated way. I don't know.
I love it. Melanated blushing is the best kind of blushing. Sorry, guys. Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So before we actually go into the what's in your cup, I just have a little icebreaker for you, even though our ice done melt and thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a few questions. It's lightning fast, so no time to think. I ask you and you just respond. All right? Okay, I'll try not to put anything in there that will affect your sponsorship. All right. Ready?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. Extrovert or introvert?
Introvert.
Glasses or lipstick?
Lipstick.
South or north?
South.
Sweet or salt?
Salt.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Pitch Lake or beach?
None.
Jazz or soca?
Jazz.
Zad or Eastman?
Both. Don't try that one.
You did good.
Don't try that one on me.
And that one actually I didn't have written down there. That one just jumped in. Okay, great. So now that our ice has melted even more, we're into our fifth segment, which is what's in your cup. So
Right.
I'll share with you what's in my cup because we have the same cups because we're amazing. So this is from Twigs Naturals, which is our featured product in this episode. So I'm very happy, local brand, of course. And I have green tea in my cup, right? And it's very, very calming.
Yeah, mine is Zing, which is a combination of, I think it's turmeric and lemongrass.
Yes.
Turmeric and lemongrass.
Turmeric and ginger.
Turmeric and ginger. Turmeric and ginger. Yes, Zing. Now I'm a fan of local products in general, as anybody who follows me would figure out, because I tell people that I don't particularly support local because it's local.
Right.
But I support local because it's local. And because it's good.
It's good.
Because we get value for money, because we have some fantastic products coming out of this country, well packaged, well made, and our creatives and our entrepreneurs deserve the space.
They do.
Yes. They deserve the space. So I've been using Twigs teas for maybe about 3 years now, and as a matter of fact, pre-performance, it's Twigs. I absolutely love the product. I love what they do. I love what they represent. So yeah, I'm doing my Zing here today.
Yes, and Zing is you, eh? When you think of it, you think of Zing, right? Because you do that. You do bring that.
I think Nigel should just name it over.
You should name it over, Nigel. When we speak in our segment, we'll talk about this.
Yeah, you
right?
should call it Vaughnette.
Yeah, forget Zing. Like, let's just scratch out Zing here and just put Vaughnette. Yes, I'll speak to him about it. Don't worry. So, and I love that they have so many flavors. I mean, he's so great with us. They have Thyme Tea. I did not know you could make tea from thyme. They have
as a matter of fact, thyme is something that's very, very good for cough. So if you have coughs and stuff, you could use thyme for that. And
then we have lemongrass. So as we know, fever grass.
Yeah,
right.
One of my favorites. Gil, I don't know where this lemongrass thing comes from.
I don't know this one. See,
where we get this bush name from?
I have a clump of fever grass in my yard. I don't have a lemongrass. Nigel, we may need to think about renaming that one too. But bay leaf, they have bay leaf as well.
Right.
They have carnelian, which I'm excited to try.
Right, the carnelian is the orange peel and something.
Orange peel and bay leaves.
Right.
Yes. So I'm very excited about that. And of course, well, as you would have mentioned, Zing, right? Which is turmeric and ginger. Yep. So, and these are just some of the things that they offer. And our wonderful viewers or listeners will have an opportunity to get themselves some Twigs Naturals, right? In the very near future. But when I started the podcast, that was also one of the things I wanted to do, which was to bring awareness to local products, tea and hot drink makers. I thought it was a perfect pairing. You know, we want to talk about, important stuff over a drink. This is what we do in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. And for me as well, it's such a comforting thing. And so I started to do research, and that's how I found Twigs Naturals.
Oh, really?
Yes. I did not know about them before. And now I feel like, they're in my cupboard.
I love them.
Yes. So what does the zing do for you? You said you like that flavor. Why do you like it?
This one for me, I don't know. There isn't very much that could calm me, you know. But I don't know. I don't know if it's ginger, of course, helps to clear my throat. Ginger, of course, as a vocalist, you want to be consuming ginger on a regular basis. It really works for me.
Yes.
Even though sometimes what happens is that it encourages the mucus to come out. And really, actually, that's what you want. You just don't want it to come out at a bad time.
Right? When you hit them notes and...
You don't want it to come out then. You don't want no percussion coming from there. So ginger for me, in terms of the voice and the vocal cord, and the turmeric, well, it's a turmeric good for you for everything. I find it as yellow up my hand, but others.
Listen, I cannot tell you. I always had, every time I'm greeting it and my nails are thin, I'm like, why don't you have the gloves? You said you were going to get the plastic gloves. What's happening? Yeah, the gloves right in the cupboard. Good job. So Twigs Naturals is in both our cups. And what else is going on with you, Vaughnette? What's happening these days? What do you have in your cup?
Girl, I don't know. I just tell people like they put me so, you know. So, on December 4th, I had a concert that had to be postponed because I tested positive for COVID 2 days before the concert. I mean, seriously, out of everything that could happen to you 2 days before your concert, you could test positive for COVID. I mean, who that has happened to?
Working hard for that concert. I heard you were working real hard for that concert. Mm-hmm.
So I eventually postponed the concert, and the concert was held on January 23rd. Amazingly, most of the persons who would have bought tickets for the December concert held on to their tickets. Nobody asked for refunds and stuff, and they held on to the tickets. So we did that concert on the 23rd of January. Mm-hmm. And as soon as that done, before I rest my tail, here I am in the middle of planning for another one. So right now I'm deep in planning for what I call Masquerade, the after carnival jazz line. So we're doing that on the 13th of March, which is one day after my birthday. So it's a bit of a post-carnival birthday celebration at the amphitheater in Equilibre.
Yeah.
And so I'm deep in planning for that right now. So I'm not planning past that right now. Right. So that's how I plan. And I tell people I plan projects. So they'll ask you, okay, where do you see yourself in the next 6 months? I said, all I want to be is alive and happy. I am planning past my next event right now.
Yeah. And that's right there.
It is.
That's right
in a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks.
So that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Stressful, I imagine, at times.
It is stressful. I mean, I tell persons, something as simple as if you're consistently doing events, which I'm doing. I did 2 major events last year and some smaller things. But if you're consistently doing your events, the challenge is always there, especially because I have what I call repeat offenders. I have the same people who come back to every single event that I have. So you
really have to make it unique.
Absolutely.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So the challenge is, how do I make this one different from the last one or the last 2 or the last 3 so that I can keep people engaged at all times and make them want to come to the one after that? So that of itself is a challenge, and you always have to be up in your head. I have a team that works with me, and we're always just trying to figure out what is something that we can do, or how can we make this one special, so that each event should be able to stand on its own, so people should say, well, this event was this, so it's challenging, but see what?
You love it.
Yeah, I do actually. I do. Yeah, I do.
Okay. And that brings us into our next segment. So we know what you love. But what has been boiling your water lately? As I like to say, what is making your kettle whistle in terms of anything that's annoying you or stressing you out, or a pet peeve?
I've had enough of COVID.
Girl, you ain't saying anything.
I have had enough of it.
Yes.
I had enough. It is time for it to go.
Yes.
It is time for it to go. Go from whence it came. I have had enough. I'm telling you, this has been such a challenging period. And I'm not even talking in terms of myself, but I'm talking about other creatives or other industry, the hotel industry, tourism industry.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been so affected, and no one could have thought in March 2020 that 2 years down the road we'd still be dealing with it.
Everybody thought by August it's done. Then it was like by Christmas, and now here we are, 2 years later.
2 years later, the children have not been to school. They haven't seen their friends in 2 years. Yeah. I mean, and for what we do as musicians, as entertainers, it requires congregation. It requires people to get together. It requires us to be able to communicate with an audience.
Yes,
so it's been very, very difficult trying to stay afloat. And I'm very honest in telling you, I tell you, people say, oh, well, you use the time to create and you have the downtime and you create. And I say, what create all you want me to create when I don't know how I pay my bills? I have a loan that I had to pay if I have no income. What you want me to create? What song you want me to write that doesn't reflect my state of mind and my worry about how I'm going to meet my commitments? And that is what creatives have been dealing with for the past 2 years. So I am really tired of it. I've had enough, and I want us to get back to some level of, and I don't want to say normalcy because that's never going to come.
That's gone. That's gone.
It is gone. Yeah. But I want us to get to a point where we can move forward.
Yes.
And have some and people can live and earn, and families could get together and children could go to school. I really want us to get to that point because I've had enough. Oh, I'm over it.
Yeah, been over it. And I think that's such an important point that you raised about how can I create and I have bills to pay, and it reminds me when we were studying in school, anybody who's done counseling or sociology or psychology, even some business persons come across Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And at the base of it is your basics. Right? Food, shelter, clothing, before you go into belonging and all of those wonderful
and self-actualization. Who is in there?
I'm hungry belly. I can't.
Exactly.
Right? The guys who say can't make love on hungry belly. I can't self-actualize on a hungry belly. I can't do it.
I mean, I guess maybe there are creatives who can create under tense circumstances, but I don't think that they are in the majority. I really don't think so.
And it's also what you're creating.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I really think that people want to be at some level of comfort to be able to create anything meaningful. And I don't think that we've been able to be at that position in the last 2 years.
And when I think about your music, you identify primarily as a jazz artist in terms of your music.
Well, that was then.
Well, and now you are.
That was then. I tell people, initially when I started my career, because I tell people jazz was the music that it was a natural progression into jazz because that was the music that I was raised on, like my grandparents played. So initially when I started, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a black jazz singer, singing swing and bebop and all of
this. Nina Simone, I see you.
Oh yeah, that kind of thing. I mean, Nina Simone wasn't. If Nina Simone hear you call her jazz, so she would be very happy because she didn't identify as a jazz singer. She just So but it has changed over time, and more so that it's not that I don't sing jazz, but I tell people right now I don't just sing songs. I just sing what I feel to sing. It could be anything.
You're a musician.
Anything. I'm a musician. I sing what I feel to sing. It could be jazz, it could be soca, it could be calypso. I'm just a storyteller, as you said. Yes. I sing what I feel.
And even when I think about these songs that you sing, I don't feel sad after I hear you sing a song. Like I don't go to it.
There are those I guess maybe because I like singing love songs. I like singing, but there are those. But I don't think generally it makes people feel sad.
No, I mean it's one thing for a sense of nostalgia or something. There are musicians who, as you said, if they're in that sense of pain and they're creating, it's maybe a heartbreak has caused them to write, this particular song and this piece of music, and people could relate it. But I don't feel that with you, and so I feel for you in this time. If you're not happy, if you don't have that sense of, peace about you really can't create your music.
I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type of person that can function. I cannot function when I'm worrying. I'm sorry. It's just It just doesn't work that way for me. It doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that must really, so at this point in time now, you really have to prioritize your mental health, because this is directly affecting your creativity, which is your bread and butter, which is
absolutely. Right? And remember too, I'm also coming from, or we are also coming from, I should say, the shutdown of Petrotrin in 2018, and having to adjust and refocus and pivot. So I pivot since then.
You've been pivoting.
Right now, I have a whole gene pair, I have a whole gene pair. Because since then, I would have had to make an adjustment into, okay, this corporate thing is not going to happen again. And I made up my mind that I was not going back out at 45 years old to fight up to look for a job, because I just didn't want to have to deal with that. Yes. So I said, you know what? Okay, maybe this is the time for me to get into entertainment and my music full time. And as soon as I got into that, started having my plans, then the pandemic came. So it was somebody said, well, you had to pivot again. I said, well, what all you want me to do now? What more to do? You want me to jump into law now? I don't know. What? So it's been challenging. It's been challenging.
To say the least.
Yeah.
To say the least. And so, that also is a great segue for our final segment in terms of your mental health. How are you in general? Because you've run, I think, the gamut of experiences. You've had to pivot, as you said, in terms of, having lost your job. You decide, okay, you're going to do this thing full time. Then COVID hits. We're still in COVID. You contracted COVID. I mean, how you have a son, you have a husband, you're still trying to make music. People are still looking to you as a public figure, right? How are you? How is your mental health?
And this has helped me a lot. The answer that I'm going to give you today, I am fine. Today, I'm fine. I found that when I started dissecting it and taking it to that level, today I'm getting up today, because let me tell you something, Jill. And I figured this out. I had no control over this pandemic. I have no control over where it goes, when it ends, what happens. And it's been because I tell people, it's not that I'm a control freak, but I like to plan things, and I like to know that I'm living for what I planned is actually going to work out.
Most of us.
And I have had absolutely no control over where it is going. And I have had to say to myself, oh God, Vaughnette, you can't stress about that. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. This is totally out of your control. And I found that when I started doing that, it helped, because I'm lying in the bed and I'm thinking 6 months down the road, how am I paying this loan? How am I paying my bills? How am I doing this? And I'm thinking about what's going to happen 6 and 7 and what's going to happen to me next year. And I've learned that I really can't control that.
Yeah.
And it's been difficult trying to say, hey, worry about today. What's happening with you today? Yeah. When tomorrow comes, you get up tomorrow and you say, okay, let's see what happens today. And that has helped me a lot. Other than that, the anxiety was becoming way, way, way too much for me.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And I tell people that I'm prone to, and I don't like to call it depression because I've never been diagnosed or anything like that, but I'm prone to some sort of depressive episodes. Or very, very dark space that I could get into very dark spaces and have a lot of trouble coming out of it.
Yeah.
So I understand that sometimes I know when it's coming on. I'm also perimenopausal as well too.
Lord.
Yes, so that too. So
Lord Jesus, I just want to pause and say, Lord Jesus, please give Vaughnette the biggest break.
Yes.
Carry on, because that's all that's happening.
I mean, like what?
Perimenopausal too.
But I've learned to identify how I feel or how my body feels when I'm getting to that space.
Yes.
To try to kind of counter it. But it's a lot to try to manage. I mean, getting COVID was, you're walking around and you're frightened for COVID and I'm walking around with with hand sanitizer around my neck, in my car, lights all wipes in my car, everywhere. And my hand dry like sauce bone because every minute I'm watching it. and I contract COVID still.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, but the next thing that I think helps me as well, or helps me to cope, is that I'm very honest, Jill.
Which is what I think also draws people to you.
Yeah, I just tell it as it is. If I get up today and I'm not having a good day, I tell it all, just like how I tell it all when I'm having a good day. Because I feel that people really want to know you. People want to know you, and they want to know your truths. They want to know it. So me and Brother Hide, so I went through my whole COVID experience. I documented my experience, how I felt, and I found that writing and sharing with others have really helped. Yes, it's really helping me to cope. Every day in general, it's helping me to cope. I mean, a lot of people may think I put too much of my stuff out there, but they could just unfollow if they find it's too much.
It's also your choice.
It's your choice. But I like to be honest. It works for me.
I think that's great, and I think so far, almost everybody that we've talked to, there's some semblance of that in there. We just kind of have to take it day by day. It's okay to not be okay today. It's okay to try again tomorrow. It's okay if today is where you live. If today is where you live and you can't see to next week or next month, that's okay.
I tell people that all the time. When they say, I'm having a really bad day today. And I try my best to not say, okay, get over it. No, I said, okay, that's fine. I said, you could embrace that you're having a bad day, acknowledge that that's fine. Mm-hmm. We all have bad days. Regardless of what, we all have bad days. So it's fine to just be honest with yourself, I say,
Yes, acknowledging that and that, sense of surrender, which I think is what you just described,
Yes.
We can't, and as humans, we want control. We want to know, 6 months from now, I can plan this, I'll have this. We want that security. But then sometimes, God steps in and is like, well, who's driving, you or me?
Exactly. You decide.
Yeah.
You want to drive or you want me to drive?
Let me know what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right? So I think and for a lot of us, it's something that we have to constantly remind ourselves of. And it's something that I would tell clients in therapy as well. Like, you have to just focus on what's within your control. Doesn't mean you're not going to get anxious. It doesn't mean you're not going to have depressive episodes, but it means that you may be able to better manage that, and you can actually feel when it's coming on, which is fantastic, right? Because certain things you can kind of put in place. Sometimes you still can't help it, right? But sometimes you're able to put things in place and manage it a bit better.
Yeah, that's what I do. I've learned to feel it, and that was important to me. I feel it, and I tell people it's a physical thing for me, Mm-hmm. I feel it. I feel like there's something that, and I just feel, and if I leave it, it just goes on and it goes on until I get to that place where I come. But if I feel it and I say, all right, okay, maybe I need to get up and exercise. I'm gonna get up and exercise. So it's good to be able to identify how your body feels as well too.
Yes, you have to know it, and I think. I don't know, I'm not a creative in the sense of the way that we use it, but I think creatives feel more deeply than regular people.
I think so too.
I think so. So when you say you feel the depressive episode coming on, I'm like, all right, that is deep and real.
Yeah, I feel it.
Mm-hmm. So you feel everything, and in the pandemic, we're forced to, a lot of us have done denying, or being in denial, but I think the pandemic has also kind of forced us, as you said, to be real and to be honest with ourselves and with other people. And if at this point in time we're not doing that, then what have you been doing in the past 2 weeks?
Well, exactly.
What have you been doing?
Exactly.
And you're that refreshing breath. I have a cousin. She'll always be my baby because she's a grown woman now. She is a musician such as yourself. Shout out to Chris Marie Rollins.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know Chris, that's my child, my whole child too.
Right? That's my love. And she I think we were sharing that, sometimes you want to be a little bit more honest. Mm-hmm. As a potential public figure, you want to do that, but then is there that space for you to do it? And I remember telling her, well, you create that space.
Well, you know what it is too?
Mm-hmm.
It is because honesty is a frightening thing.
It is.
It's leaving yourself open to
vulnerable.
Everything else and leaving yourself vulnerable. So you have to decide, or you have to make that decision. You have to decide, is it worth it, or what is that honesty worth to you?
Yes.
And how you're gonna do, because you can't want to be honest and then when people push back, you had to be
mad, you're upset.
No, it's just what it is. But it takes a level of maturity too, and it takes a conscious decision made that, you know what, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't have to like it. And I tell people that the best time in my life, the most amount of freedom and the best feeling in my life was when I got to the realization that not everybody had to like me. And that's okay.
That's okay.
It's fine because I tell people I don't like everybody.
Yeah.
So why do I feel that everybody had to like me?
Like you.
No. And you have to be willing to give people the space to not like what you have to offer too.
Yeah.
And when you get to that stage, it's fine. It's fine.
You are dropping so many gems today. I mean, that what you just said, you said, you know, what is that honesty worth to you? Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I love that because I think a lot of us, we sacrifice, we budget our honesty, we put it on the bargain bin, you know, because we're not sure, and that needs to be validated. That sense of belongingness, that wanting to be a part of. Do we value that over ourselves? And I think a lot of us, slowly but surely, we kind of give away pieces of ourselves.
Yes.
You know, because we're scared. We don't want to be rejected. We want to be
positive. And I understand it to some extent because it took me a while to get here. I was at that place too. It took me a while to get there. But there's a freedom associated with when you're here that you will, I mean, it's not like you don't care. It's just that you understand that it's fine for people to have that choice.
It's okay if people, you know, don't like you. It's okay if they don't appreciate what you do. Yeah. Because there will always be people who do.
And that's what I say too, JL.
Yeah.
I say I do not spend that much time on the folks who don't like what I do.
Yeah.
I spend all the time on the folks who love it.
Yeah. And they're, I think, in the majority. Yeah.
I spend time loving who love me. I don't have the energy to, that is a little too negative. I ain't spending time to figure, hey, I don't like, that's okay. I spend my time loving back on those who love me. And that's all you need to do, really. Yeah.
We should have chats more often.
I think so.
Yeah. We could do it over wine too. There's no, we have to.
Yeah. But listen, the conversation will start to go downhill because me and alcohol ate too much of friend. And I started
that's why we can't have that conversation recorded. That's okay. We can have it. We just can't have it recorded.
It will start off good, but it will start to go slightly downhill. Promise me. I promise you. I'm telling you.
That's okay. I think those would be the best ones, and I'll call our mutual friend Kevin, Chef Williams, to be part of the party. Now also we mashing up the place, right? So Vaughnette, so we know you have Masquerade. Masquerade is the name of the?
Yes, Masquerade on March 13th.
Masquerade on March 13th coming up. So everybody make sure, where can we get our tickets for Masquerade?
GL, I'm disappointed. There are no tickets for that event. That event was sold out in about 2 days. GL, come on.
Sorry. So when you're having the next, anyway, I can't really ask you, since we're going there today, I can't ask you about the next one. Right?
But I am planning an event to celebrate our 60 years of independence.
Oh, in the best month of the year, August.
Yes, so I'm looking at end of July, August, and I'm calling it Red, White, and Black for celebration.
Hello.
So y'all can look out for that as well. A kind of nice theme event, yeah.
All right, Miss we sold out. All right, I'm sorry, boss. I humbly apologize. Right, but for those of you who didn't get your tickets, make sure and look out for Red, White, and Black. And you hear what's going on. The celebration. So you have to make sure and get your tickets. Probably in June because the tickets selling out. Right?
I'm a blessed child, and I'm very thankful too for the folks that follow what I do, and because they're the ones who are taking care of me. They're the ones. They're how I pay my bill, and I do not take that for granted at all. I do not, because they could do anything. You could spend your money
anyhow and anywhere.
Yeah, and you choose to spend your money with me. I'm really thankful for that. Yeah.
And we are thankful for you. So how can we find you? So some people want to know about these fantastic posts and all of that. Where can we find you on social media?
So I live on Facebook. I practically live on Facebook because I don't have a day job, and Facebook is my day job. Contrary to popular belief, it's not all social. It's how I sell my tickets. It's my business.
Exactly.
So it's business for me. So I have my personal page on Facebook, just Vaughnette Bigford, and my musicians page as well, Vaughnette Bigford on Facebook.
Yes. Okay.
I'm also on Instagram as Vaughnette Bigford. So those two I try to do because I really don't have the energy for Twitter and TikTok. I can't. I mean, I'll try with Twitter, but oh gosh, to manage the three of them is a lot.
You do what you can. You do what you can.
So Facebook and Instagram, more so Facebook, because I have a more mature following. My fan base is more Facebook type audience. So I live on Facebook. You can message me, send me a message in Messenger. I promise you, I respond.
She's very responsive on social media. I can see that firsthand experience. Yes. So look out for her on Facebook and Instagram, Vaughnette Bigford. Yes. Make sure that you're following her so you can get to know about these tickets, because I still on that, right? But Vaughnette, it's been so wonderful having you here. Thank you for coming to have a chit chat over some Twigs Naturals.
Yes, of course.
With us, and of course, viewers and listeners, there will be a giveaway, so you need to pay attention and stay tuned for that, because you definitely want to get your hands on some Twigs Naturals tea.
Trust me, they won't regret it at all.
You will not regret it, and you will be supporting local, not just for supporting local sake, as Vaughnette said, but because it's great.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's great. So we know that you will be a friend of Chit Chat with 2 T's from now on, and we're looking forward to seeing everything that you have to do, and of course having you on again in the future. We'd love to do a follow-up with you, find out how Masquerade was, you know, and do you have any special closing words you'd like to give to our viewers and listeners, or any special hellos anybody you'd want to shout out before we close?
Oh no, I mean, I have a hello to everyone listening, and I like to tell people, especially these days, just find a way to maintain some sort of balance in your life. Whatever it is that brings you balance and peace, find it, please. Yes. Find it and ensure that's what you're doing, because these days that's what matters most, you know, having some sort of level of balance, happiness, you know, making sure you're just work on that. That's really important.
Yes, amen. And again, thanks for spending time with us.
You're welcome, darling.
We're so happy to have had you here. Twigs Naturals, thanks for making sure that Vaughnett's pipes were clear.
Thank you.
Right, and for calming her and me. Thank you, Nigel and Twigs Naturals family. And you know, thanks to you, viewers and listeners, for spending your time with us as we sit and we discuss the mental health actual factuals. I am jvaldez, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take